Cape Town is the legislative capital of South Africa. It is the country's oldest city and the seat of the Parliament of South Africa. Cape Town is the country's second largest city, after Johannesburg, and the largest in the Western Cape. The city is part of the City of Cape Town Metropolitan Municipality. The city is known for its harbour, its natural setting in the Cape Floristic Region, and for landmarks such as Table Mountain and Cape Point. In 2014, Cape Town was named the best place in the world to visit by the New York Times, and was similarly ranked number 1 by the Daily Telegraph in both 2016 and 2023. Located on the shore of Table Bay, the City Bowl area of Cape Town is the oldest urban area in the Western Cape, with a significant cultural heritage. It was founded by the Dutch East India Company as a supply station for Dutch ships sailing to East Africa, India, and the Far East. Jan van Riebeek's arrival on 6 April 1652 established the VOC Cape Colony, the first permanent European settlement in South Africa. Cape Town outgrew its original purpose as the first European outpost at the Castle of Good Hope, becoming the economic and cultural hub of the Cape Colony. Until the Witwatersrand Gold Rush and the development of Johannesburg, Cape Town was the largest city in southern Africa. The metropolitan area has a long coastline on the Atlantic Ocean, which includes False Bay, and extends to the Hottentots Holland Mountains to the east. The Table Mountain National Park is within the city boundaries, and there are several other nature reserves and marine protected areas within, and adjacent to, the city, protecting the diverse terrestrial and marine natural environment. Table Mountain, with its near vertical cliffs and flat-topped summit over 1,000 meters high, and with Devil's Peak and Lion's Head on either side, together form a dramatic mountainous backdrop enclosing the central area of Cape Town, the so-called City Bowl. A thin strip of cloud, known colloquially as the tablecloth, sometimes forms on top of the mountain. To the immediate south of the city, the Cape Peninsula is a scenic mountainous spine jutting 40 kilometers southward into the Atlantic Ocean and terminating at Cape Point. There are over 70 peaks above 300 meters within Cape Town's official metropolitan limits. Many of the city's suburbs lie on the large plain called the Cape Flats, which extends over 50 kilometers to the east and joins the peninsula to the mainland. The Cape Town region is characterized by an extensive coastline, rugged mountain ranges, coastal plains and inland valleys. The Cape Peninsula is a rocky and mountainous peninsula that juts out into the Atlantic Ocean at the southwestern extremity of the continent. At its tip is Cape Point and the Cape of Good Hope. The peninsula forms the west side of False Bay and the Cape Flats. On the east side are the Helderberg and Hottentots Holland Mountains. The three main rock formations are the late Precambrian Malmberry Group, the Cape Granite Suit, comprising the huge peninsula, Kruisrivier Helderberg, and Stellenbosch batholiths, that were intruded into the Malmsbury Group about 630 million years ago, and the Table Mountain Group sandstones that were deposited on the eroded surface of the Granite and Malmsbury series basement about 450 million years ago. The sand, silt and mud deposits were lithified by pressure and then folded during the Cape orogeny to form the Cape Fold Belt, which extends in an arc along the western and southern coasts. The present landscape is due to prolonged erosion having carved out deep valleys, removing parts of the once continuous Table Mountain Group sandstone cover from over the Cape Flats and False Bay, and leaving high residual mountain ridges. The city is South Africa's second main economic center and Africa's third main economic hub city. It serves as the regional manufacturing center in the Western Cape. In 2019, the city's GMP of $33.04 billion United States dollars represented 71.1% of the Western Cape's total GRP and 9.6% of South Africa's total GDP. The city also accounted for 11.1% of all employed people in the country and had a citywide GDP per capita of $7,524 United States dollars. The Western Cape is a highly important tourist region in South Africa. The tourism industry accounts for 9.8% of the GDP of the province and employs 9.6% of the province's workforce. In 2010, over 1.5 million international tourists visited the area. Cape Town is not only a popular international tourist destination in South Africa, but Africa as a whole. This is due to its mild climate, natural setting, and well-developed infrastructure. The city has several well-known natural features that attract tourists, most notably Table Mountain, which forms a large part of the Table Mountain National Park and is the back end of the City Bowl. Reaching the top of the mountain can be achieved either by hiking up, or by taking the Table Mountain Cableway. Cape Point is the dramatic headland at the end of the Cape Peninsula. Many tourists also drive along Chapman's Peak Drive, a narrow road that links Noordhoek with Hout Bay, for the views of the Atlantic Ocean and nearby mountains. It is possible to either drive or hike up Signal Hill for closer views of the City Bowl and Table Mountain. Many tourists also visit Cape Town's beaches, which are popular with local residents. It is possible to visit several different beaches in the same day, each with a different setting and atmosphere. Both coasts are popular, although the beaches in affluent Clifton and elsewhere on the Atlantic coast are better developed with restaurants and cafes, with a strip of restaurants and bars accessible to the beach at Camps Bay.